Coffee Break with Jimmy, and I guess today Trump renamed Huntsville, Alabama, as the headquarters for the Space Force, which is where he initially thought it was the best place, in Huntsville, Alabama. And for whatever reasons, Biden decided, probably a political reason anyway, Biden thought it was better off in Colorado, which I don't understand why. But anyhow, they renamed Huntsville, Alabama, as the headquarters for Space Force. But what I really want to talk about today, I want to talk about, the crime and what's going on in. Well, let's just talk about Washington D.C., where Trump said that they brought in the National Guard to help out the police department and the sheriff's department there in Washington D.C. And I've explained this already. There's no governor. Of course, Washington D.C. is not a state, but it's actually the head guy there is the president of the United States. So, but they've done a good job, and it's a template, if you will, for the big cities. It's the policy. If it's Trump's policy, I think it's everybody's policy. This is not a Democrat or Republican thing. I think everybody wants crime down, right? Nobody wants murders. Nobody wants thievery to go on, or carjacking and different things that happened, and actually in the major cities, which most of them are blue. I mean, I think everybody knows that. And you could Washington D.C., Philadelphia, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, name all the bigger cities, Portland, Oregon, and they all have an abundant crime problem. Okay, and in Washington D.C., they've got it down quite a bit. There hasn't been any murders there, I think, in 13 days now, or something like that. Maybe it's been over 2 weeks already. But they've got the murder rate down. They got the carjacking rate down. In fact, there's no murders at all. It hasn't been in the last few days. And wouldn't that be great if they can get it done in the big cities? But like the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Chicago, they want nothing to do with it. And because it's Trump's policy. Trump made it happen. He's making it. He made it happen for Washington, D.C., and he said we could do the same thing for Chicago and New York. And I don't think Mondami, if he becomes the mayor of New York, I don't think he's going to want it either. I think he wants to do anything against whatever Trump does. He doesn't want anything to do with it. But all the big cities, major cities. Now, you can say whatever you want, but everybody wants. It's not a Republican thing or it's not a Democrat thing to want crime down. And like I said, Trump has set a template here in Washington, D.C. Why can't they do the same thing in Chicago or New York or Los Angeles? Now, the governor and the mayor of Chicago don't want nothing to do with it. So you want to just continue to let people die? I mean, even if it's just for a couple of weeks, and if the National Guard is there even a little bit longer, and they say, okay, let's have the National Guard here a little bit longer. And Trump has said, he's told them that, look, just give me a call. We're ready to help you out. Just give me a call and we can work together on this. What's the matter with that? What's the matter with doing the right thing for your people? That's what's the number one thing that a person, in politics is that they have to do is protect their people, to protect their constituency, wherever they're located at, as far as the House and the Senate goes, but especially the governors and the mayors. You want to protect your people, and I think that's Trump's got all on. I mean, let's look what he does in foreign policy. He wants to end the wars. He's ended 6 of them or 7 of them already, because he doesn't want people to die senselessly, And the same thing's going on in Ukraine. He talked to President Putin, but President Putin, they just kept sending the drones out there and attacking the Ukraine. And I don't think that's going to last much longer before Trump starts pulling some tariffs and to get other countries to stop doing business, buying oil from them. They'll set things up in other countries that make it harder for Russia to do trade. And so the best thing for Putin to do would be follow Trump's lead and get out of Ukraine. And I think that's going to happen in Israel also, because something's going to happen. Something's got to give there, you know, and I think it will there too. But see, that's what Trump is. He's the president for peace, the president for unity. He's the money-making president. He's making money for this country like never happened before. And this is where we could all be prosperous. I'm talking all the major cities, because that's where most people live. That's where most of the stuff's going to happen. But let's talk about Chicago, okay? That's what he really wants to do now. Chicago, there wasn't anything to do because it's Trump. It's all about Trump. Trump is doing it. It's his policy. So, oh no, we don't want to do anything that Trump has anything to do with, even if it's the right thing. Come on, man, open your eyes. You know, I've said it before, like in New York, I just talked about Mondami. And I hope New York doesn't elect him. But the polls show differently, because there's other ones that are running. And I can, he's the only Republican running. Maybe he's got a good chance, but his poll numbers are like, you know, less than 10% versus Mondami's is 44, and then I think the governor Cuomo from New York, he's around 26%, and even Mayor Adams right now, the existing mayor, he's down to like 16% or something like that. They're just the numbers are way down. That doesn't look good. But this whole thing, the Socialist Party, part of the Democrat Party, there's a big part that's leaning that way, and I think and it's the younger group right now. We have to really educate them, and I'd like to sit there and talk to the younger groups. I want to do a talk here, not too long from now, with some veterans over at a rest home. They want to talk to me about current events. But I like to talk about current events with the younger crowd, because they really don't know what's going on. Sure, this free stuff that they want to give to you in this socialism, it's all communism. It's free. That doesn't happen. Somebody's going to have to pay for it somewhere along the line. But let's talk about the crime and what's going on in the major cities, in these blue cities. And come on, guys. Democrat governors, Democrat mayors, work with Trump. Trump is willing to work with you, and he'll let you lead the way. Just he can bring in the National Guard. They're not going to really do anything but help the police the area so these things don't happen. You got more death and crime going on in our major cities than countries around the world like Afghanistan. I mean, they got more stuff going on in our major cities than they do in Afghanistan. And this is ridiculous. This could be stopped. And they want to do defund the police. Please, we need our police department. We need our law and order. And Trump is a law and order president. So we need our law and order, and we need that to be straightened up. So I'm reaching out to you, younger crowd. I mean, think about it. Think about what has to be done. And if these guys don't get it done, then vote for somebody different. I've said it many times. It's the Republicans that really want to get stuff done. And if you got Republicans running in the major cities, maybe it's time to make a change, because what's going on right now is killing people. And I mean, if you balance it out, okay, it's all about law and order, of course, and it's about death. This isn't a Republican or a Democrat thing. This is something that can be done. Like I said, again, the template is set. Trump has done it. President Trump has done it in Washington, D.C. They've been successful there. And the mayor of Washington, D.C. is working with Trump, and she actually has given him some, thumbs up on what the things that are going on. And that's just kind of unheard of when you got a Democrat mayor working with the president, with Donald Trump, a Republican president. But I think this stuff can happen abroad. And just think about it. We're going to have the Olympics. Was it 28? We're going to have the Olympics in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, we need to get the crime and all that stuff down in Los Angeles. And why can't Los Angeles? Well, Gavin Newsom is so stupid, and his cronies, to actually work with Trump, because see, anything that Trump does, again, the Democrat mayor, or the Democrat of, Karen Bass, and the Democrat governor of California, they don't want anything to do with what Trump's doing, because it goes against their policies, and they don't like, and it's just down to brass taxes here. They just don't like Trump. As whether his policies are good or bad, they don't care. They just don't like Trump. And I think you're being stupid. And I think the mayor and the governor of Illinois, as Trump he's sending out an olive branch. Come on, let's do this. And I mean, look what he did. Just today, when he was talking about, going back to Huntsville, Alabama, the Space Force being located there, and there's other things, SpaceX and other things that are there. They say that's the best spot for the Space Force. But as this was going on, we just took out a boat coming out from Venezuela. As the cartel boat, they knew the boat was run by the cartel in Venezuela, and probably bringing over fentanyl and all this other stuff, and a speedboat coming across, the Gulf of America. Well, they took that boat out. They just blew it out of the water. Well, they've named, Maduro as a terrorist, okay? And I believe they got a price on his head right now. If anybody gets him and brings him in, he's got some things, some charges. He's going to be up on charges. Maduro is that way, and Venezuela, the people of Venezuela wants him out of there. And wouldn't that be nice if they can clean that up? And I know the cartels. I know Mexico. You've heard this for a number of years that the president and the legislatures of Mexico has got the cartels in their pocket. Okay. Now I don't know this for sure. I don't know how true that is, but it's been going on in Mexico for a long time. Maybe we need to work with Mexico to clean that up too, because these drug cartels are making billions of dollars off the rest of the world, and people are dying. People are dying, and that's what Trump wants to end. And we got 4 years with Donald Trump. Of course, I'd like to see another term. I think he really can get another term. I think there's ways that make it happen. But the way he's doing it right now, as far as the tariffs and the deals that he's making with other countries,